Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Justin Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to go on and talk about tonight. But before we go on and get into that, um, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Right now, we have around a good 9 people that have tuned in and only 4 likes so far. So if you're a part of that 5 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Also, make sure you go and hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're at 678, yes, 678 subscribers right now. And we're trying to get to that main goal, obviously, of 700. We are 22 away right now. 22 away from that main goal. That's it. Just 22. Just 22 subscribers away. And we will be there to that main goal of 700 subscribers. So, we're going to, continue to go on and hope for that, try and get that. And as pretty much there's pretty much no other landmarks pretty much in between that. I mean, we're now, it's here and then 700. So at this point, we're just going to continue to just hope to go on and get to that goal as quickly as we can so we can go on and make that push for 800 afterwards. What is on tap for tonight? What are we going to be talking about tonight? Well, obviously, we will be talking about the weather for tonight, tomorrow, short-term future, long-term future, current conditions, all that stuff. But the main things, the main points that I want to emphasize tonight is the prolonged Arctic air mass that will bring very cold temperatures through the week. Also, I do want to talk about the dry and stable pattern as we go from the mid to late part of the week, and then an increasing chance of winter weather again this weekend. So that's the main thing that I do want to talk about. Yes, you do see that correctly. Another chance of winter weather. If you were here last night, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you were not, well, I'm about to tell you about that tonight. Because we do have some new updates on it. And yes, it is increasing. The chance of it is increasing. So let's go and look at the radar first. Right now, looks like nothing. Nice and dry out there throughout the state. Cold, but dry. In terms of what's going on up here, you see all this blue. It's special weather statements. Why? Well, because of black ice. Black ice is definitely going to be a concern throughout these areas, all throughout the upstate and throughout the northern Midlands, from Newbury to Winnsboro to Hugh Springs, Kershaw, Chesterfield, Pageland as well. That is for, again, black ice as you go into tonight and then into tomorrow, especially due to all that freezing rain that we just got. That black ice will definitely have a bit of a potential to form patchy black ice throughout the roadway. So make sure that you're paying attention to that if you are out driving over here in the upstate and in the northern Midlands. Now, what about the entire U.S.? Some snowfall definitely going on over here inside of Maine, going on inside of Massachusetts as well as Rhode Island. We also do have some snowfall going on over here inside of West Virginia, some rainfall as well as some overall scattered condition from rainfall to sleet to snow going on up here inside of the Northwest. Everybody else, dry. South, dry. Central U.S., dry. And maybe some flurries going on over here inside the upper Midwest or upper Great Lakes, but for the most part, dry. Now, what about our cloud cover? Cloud cover, for the most part, seems like that we are on the clear side. I do see some clouds over there inside the eastern part of the state, but for the most part, we all look relatively on the clear side, as I said. Even if we go and look into our future, we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m., and if you go on and push this forward, you can see right here by around 2 o'clock in the morning, nothing really too crazy happening. We go all the way to 10 o'clock in the morning, still relatively on the clear side, to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 p.m. here. Again, not seeing anything. Then as we get to around 8 to 9 p.m. tomorrow night, this is when I go live tomorrow, we start to see some more cloud cover start to kind of push its way through Georgia, through Alabama, through Tennessee, through North Carolina, but not quite into South Carolina yet. You go all the way through to 11 p.m., 12 o'clock in the morning, and we get mostly cloudy, if not almost completely overcast, as we go into Wednesday, like late or early morning, at like 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning. We continue all the way through 6 a.m. here, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., On Wednesday, pretty much completely covered up. But look at this, Wednesday afternoon, it takes a huge dip. I mean, this is what 9 o'clock in the morning looks like, and this is what 12 o'clock, noon. This is what 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, and it just continues to clear. So a cloudy start on Wednesday, but then it will shortly clear. I mean, as you get into the afternoon. What about for our current temperatures? Right now, you have around a good 32 in Somerville, 37 Beaufort, 39 Hilton Island, 36 in Charleston. We also have around a good 31 in Conway, 34 Georgetown, Myrtle's Inlet, as well as 34 in Myrtle Beach, 32 North Myrtle Beach and Sumter, as well as 31 in Florence, 29 in Hartsville and Bennettsville, as well as 30 in Lugoff, 29 in Columbia, and even 30 in Aiken, 32 in Orangeburg, and 24 in Newberry, 27 Greenwood, and 23 in Lawrence, 21 in Greenville, 20 in Spartanburg, 21 in Gaffney, 22 in York, and 24 over there near Clemson. What about for your air quality? We do have a little moderate air going on over there inside of the northeastern side. Yes, on the northeastern side. If you are inside just like the regular areas, you're good in terms of air quality for today, or tonight, I should say, for right now. But if you're inside the moderate category, which is up there inside of the Grand Strand areas, just some moderate air quality right now. Nothing really too unhealthy, especially for sensitive groups, but not necessarily the best either. So it's kind of in between. Low temperatures for tonight. Yes, you are seeing these low temperatures tonight. We are seeing all the way down towards the lower 10s. 12 Greenville, 11 in Spartanburg, 11 in Rock Hill, 12 Anderson, 14 in Newberry, 14 in Columbia, 15 Camden, to 16 Sumter, Florence, 17 in Orangeburg, 25 over there, or for 15, that's not 25, 15 near Barnwell, 20 near Walterboro, and 22 in Moncks Corner, 24 in Charleston, and 27 in Hilton Head Island, 19 in Georgetown, and 21 in Myrtle Beach. So yes, these are low temperatures for tonight. And also, if we go and look at our wind chill, look at our wind chills as we go into tonight. Down to single digits, 6, Anderson, 7, and over there near Rock Hill, you see around 10 Newberry. I mean, even inside the low country, you see wind chills down to 17, 16 in Charleston, 18 inside of Georgetown, 16 inside of Myrtle Beach. So these wind chills are going to be just as low, if not, lower, more than likely, throughout the state. And if you think that we're going to be done, we're going to get a bit of relief tomorrow, absolutely not. These are our high temperatures for tomorrow. You have around 39, Rock Hill, 40 in Spartanburg, 41 in Lawrence, Newberry, Greenwood, 41 in Aiken, 42 in Columbia, Sumter, Florence, 42 in Kingstree, 42 also inside of Moncks Corner, and 42 in Charleston, 43 Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, and 44 in Hilton Head Island. So it's going to continue to stay cool as you go into tomorrow. Rainfall for tonight, not expected. So no rainfall at all. So we're not expecting anything tonight. Tomorrow night, we're good in terms of rainfall. It's going to be dry. Crazy score for tonight. We're at a 62. Yes, you do see that correctly. That does say 62. Why? If you don't know what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the state of South Carolina. And we're firmly inside that 51 to 70 category for the strong category. The primary driver being those temperatures and those wind chills. I mean, we're going to see dangerous wind chills as we go into tonight. And so this is dangerously cold for South Carolina, late January, coldest night probably of the ongoing wave so far, potentially. Wind chills down into single digits. You're going to see a lot of heat loss, not too much of any heat at all, and it's not going to go away. We'll see it again tomorrow as well. And so that raises a hypothermia risk as well. And then also, you have to make sure that you take care of, if you have any pets outside, if you have any plants, if you have any pipes that you need to be covered up, elderly, homeless, those without heat/outages from prior ice storm as well. They face elevated threats because there still are probably a good amount of people right now without power right now and who are going to have no heat at all tonight. If I go in and check it out real quick, the poweroutage.us website, there is still hold on, I almost just messed that up. There's still around a good 13,000 people in the state without power right now. Pickens County being the main one right now with 7,000 people out. 4,000 people without power in Oconee, 1,600 in Greenville, and then it starts to really die down from there. 186 in Fairfield, 76 in Anderson, 25 in Spartanburg, and so it goes down a lot more. But for the most part, it looks like that these areas up here. I mean, and these are the coldest areas too. It's not just like one, just like a couple of areas or something like that aren't really inside of the more cooler temperatures. These are probably where it's going to be the coldest at, and it's where there's people who have no power right now. But also, obviously, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a wind chill. Ideal radiational cooling setup. It's going to be not really too much wind, very low humidity, no clouds pretty much at all, and then no precipitation or anything like that. So definitely a night. Drip faucets, cover up plants, pets, make sure you bring them inside, anything like that, and you have to make sure that you're prepared for that. And as you go into the SPC outlook, the SPC outlook for tonight, tomorrow, and for Wednesday, thunderstorms are not expected, so we're good there. Same thing with fire and for excessive rainfall. So let's go and look at the models for the future. We're going to start off here, right here at the 9 o'clock p.m. mark. And if we go in and push this forward all the way through, let me go in and get my mouse cursor right here. Go all the way through, and you just do not see anything. Do not see a single thing all the way through Wednesday, going into Wednesday afternoon. Nice and dry, high pressure over there in the west, keeping us dry, and nothing else really for us to talk about in terms of the short-term future. So, but I will say, if we go and look at the temperatures real quick, is that this will be obviously a more cooler time. If we go in and push this forward, I mean, we get no relief at all. We go into tomorrow, yeah, we see some highs in the 40s. Then as you go into tomorrow night, we're seeing below freezing temperatures as early as like 7 to 8 o'clock p.m. already. And we die right back down to the 30s. We get into Wednesday, and then we're already climbing back down towards the freezing temperatures as early as 7 o'clock again up there inside the upstate. So, like I was saying, we still have to watch out for these cooler temperatures, even if, you don't have power. We're going to start off over here as well, at the 54-hour mark with the long-term future. And as you go in and push this forward, you can see that there's nothing going on. We go through Thursday, we go through Friday. We have some stuff going on over there in the west. You see some snow flurries going on over there in Arkansas, Mississippi. Louisiana getting on some rainfall, but nothing quite crazy for South Carolina. We go all the way to Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And look at this. We even have some more isolated shower, maybe snow flurry activity that goes on over here inside of the upstate. Then as we get to around 1 o'clock in the morning here, this is on Saturday, 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, this Saturday, you start to see some snow starting to go on over there inside of the upstate, starting to move over into like the Midlands a little bit. And look at how that snow develops. This is 4 o'clock p.m., goes all the way to 7 o'clock p.m. right here on Saturday. And, we have snow going on throughout the good amount of the state. Like I said, this is 126 hours out, so things will change, but that's a, good amount of snowfall going on throughout the state right now. All the way to 10 p.m., all the way to 1 o'clock in the morning, then it finally moves up by around 4 to 5 o'clock-ish. And then, as you continue that forward even more, it just seems to stay dry until, maybe a bit later into February, but I mean, I'm not seeing anything too major, and so that's not really good for our drought. Like I said, everybody should be banking on some rainfall, should be hoping for some rainfall, because we're all inside of a drought right now. And so I do think that we definitely need the rainfall, obviously, but obviously, I can't force it to rain. We all can't force it to rain. All we can do is just hope for it. All we can do is just hope. But, I mean, we'll take some snowfall in the process. If this is to happen, as modeled If we go over towards the European model, we start off here. All the way times in the bottom of the screen again. We start off here 7 o'clock in the morning. You're starting to see some rain, some snow going on. But that one doesn't bring a huge amount of snow like the GFS did. It actually brings a lot of snow out there into the ocean. So the ocean's going to get some good snowfall. But over here, it doesn't really say that much. We'll go back to the GFS and we can go in and look at the actual, which I'm going to push this all the way forward towards the future. And I'm going to go on and go down towards winter weather. And I'm going to click on the total snowfall. And it shows a good amount. I mean, it shows 4 inches near Charleston, 3 near Myrtle Beach. In the Tri-County area, Dorchester, Berkeley, Charleston County, it shows around a good 3 inches. 2 over here inside of Sumter, about an inch to 2 over here in Columbia. 2 over here near Florence, good 1/10 of an inch up there inside of the upstate. And maybe even an inch and some change over there near Augusta, near Aiken as well. It shows that, like I said, it shows a good amount of snowfall, mainly along this coastal area here, mainly along the coastal area, if this is to happen as modeled. And it shows South Carolina definitely being one of the main hotspots of being a part of this whole snow fiasco here. Now, what about the European model? Well, the European one shows, for the most part, most of it happening up here inside the north, but I think it mainly wants to hit up there in North Carolina. I mean, it brings like a foot of snow up there inside of North Carolina. It shows around 2/10 of an inch over here inside of Charleston, an inch over here inside of Myrtle Beach, 2.2 over here in Florence, an inch over here inside of the Columbia area, same thing up there inside of Greenville. And so, again, all different scenarios that could happen here. We can even move the model, and we can go into, let's see, like the icon, for example. This goes all the way out into 1 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, so not the full system, but shows around not quite an inch yet for some areas, but might be trying to make it there. And then I'm trying to find the Canadian one. I think this might be it. I think it is. The GD, let's say the GDPS? Yeah. But if you go and push this forward, I mean, this one shows a huge amount of snowfall. Like a huge amount. From 5 inches over here inside of Columbia, 6 inches over here near Florence, 6 over here near Myrtle Beach, 3 near Charleston, 4 over here inside of the upstate. So this one definitely is more on the higher end, but also not only for us, but over there still inside of North Carolina, giving both areas a good amount of snowfall. And so, like I said, all of this is definitely possible. All of this is 100% possible. Will it happen, though? That's just for us to wait and to see what happens. And then I think that is about all in terms of the models. I can't really say too much there, except for the fact that the models are saying that stuff is there. Even the National Weather Service are even covering that. I looked at my location over here inside of Somerville, and I was like, well, let me go in and check real quick and just see, what was in the forecast from the official National Weather Service site. And they have a 40% chance of snow in the forecast on Saturday. So like I'm saying, things will change. The National Weather Service thinks that it's also possible. But it's there. It's there. And I think for the most part, we'll definitely see what happens as we go throughout like the next coming days, Wednesday, Thursday, especially Friday. We'll really start to see what's going on. But I think after around tomorrow, as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, I think that's when we're going to have a really good idea. That's when we're going to have a really good idea of what to see there. Now, one more thing before we go in and talk with the audience is that if we also go on and look at the temperatures as well, we're going to go back to the GFS real quick. We're going to go over towards our temperatures. Because obviously, not only do we have to watch out for obviously snowfall, but also for these temperatures as well, because temperatures are also going to be very low. Not only just for this week, but just as you get into this weekend. Go all the way through Thursday, going all the way to Friday. And look at these temperatures right here Saturday morning. And this is going to be one of the main reasons why everyone will have that chance for snow. It's going to be so cold on Saturday. It's going to be so cold on Saturday. I mean, 7 o'clock in the morning, we're all pretty much in the 20s, except for maybe the coastal areas. But even as you get into Saturday at 10 a.m., still freezing. 1 p.m., still freezing for a good amount. 4 p.m., still freezing for a good amount. And then even as you get back to around 7 o'clock. So it's going to be freezing almost all day. And so, like I said, that's the reason why that we're going to have that risk for that snowfall to occur, just because it's going to be freezing almost all day. And not only that, but also if you want to look at the wind chills, look at these wind chills right here. As we get into, this is Saturday at 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, wind chills down to the teens for a lot of people, especially as you get into around Saturday. You know, you get into Sunday. I mean, you're seeing wind chills down to around 3 degrees, 4 degrees for some areas as well. And I think that is about all in terms of our forecast for the long-term future. And so, same thing that I've been saying. You know, we just got to continue to see, and we're still around that because it's on Saturday, so that's around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ish out. Still around a good 5 days ish out. And if we go in and look at the winter weather forecasting, you know, days out categories, you know, we have to see if it's trending more up, trending down, and right now, it's looking like that it's trending more on the up side. So tomorrow, you know, we'll be in the timing and the storm type category, you know, seeing, you know, is it snow, is it sleet, you know, is it ice, all of that stuff. And right now it's trending more towards the snow side, but things can still change between 3 to 5 days. We saw that in the last storm system that we just had. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with Mr. Chris, he's here first. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day and stayed warm. I did. Hopefully everyone else did as well. Mr. Oliver says, good evening. Cold day at my house. Berkeley Electric is winning the light bill wars. Glad that we didn't get any ice or snow. Are we in the safe zone? Absolutely not. In fact, this one, you know, especially down here for the low country, probably will be our best shot out of the other ones as well, and are actually our best chance, our best shot of getting snowfall down here. So this is the one that we also have to be paying attention for, not only for the last ones, because, you know, for the last ones, you know, I just had like that feeling that, I don't think that's going to bring any snow, and it didn't, brought some ice. But this one, you know, almost all models are saying that snowfall will occur, unless all of them are wrong. You know, we'll see what happens here, but shows a good amount. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. And then Mr. Chris says, please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know. It's free and it helps the channel grow and get information out to those who need it, especially during this crucial time as well. Right now, we have around a good 25 people that have tuned in and only 10 likes so far. So if you're a part of that 15 that have not hit the like button yet, go in and do so. It's free. You can change your mind. Also, the subscribe button. It's, if you're new, it's free, like I said. My Aunt Lewis says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. And then continue our way down. I pray that everyone had a safe day. I did. And then also, just continue our way down. My Nana says, hello, Jay. Stayed inside all day until late. Ran to the mailbox. I'm trying to learn how to run again. Hope your day was good. I have to see that. Especially from how you were walking on going into Sunday. Walking, trying to push people out the way. But, you know, I'll have to see it. I'll have to see it. And then my cousin Cheryl says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, weatherman. It was really crazy out there today. The small streets have to be plowed. The big streets, they plowed, but it all goes. I don't know if you meant to put that there, but I think you meant it all goes well. So, I hope that's what you meant. But yeah, yeah, so I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you for that update. Really do appreciate you for that update. From where you are over there inside of Philadelphia. Mr. Gray says it's currently 35 degrees here in Moncks Corner and a little breezy. Well, thank you so much for that weather update for where you are. And then also, Mr. Oliver says we had some thunder in my house last night. It was quite unique for January. Well, yes. We did get some thunder last night where I was. I actually did get a lot of reports of thunder. You know, all the way from Moncks Corner over there into Georgetown, where my Aunt Lula is as well. And also, speaking of, she says today in Georgetown we had a high of 47 degrees. At my house, we had around a good high of around 46-ish, somewhere around there. Um, then Mr. Oliver says, I had some friends in Nashville who have been without power and so many trees were destroyed from the weight of the ice on the trees. Yeah, I see a lot of bad things happen inside of Nashville, especially from the ice as well. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of bad stuff going on over there. And then Maya Lewis says, we started with lots of clouds and about 3 p.m. the sun came out. About how we thought it was going to go, was going to kind of gradually clear as we went throughout the day today. She also says, I've had some friends in Memphis who also had some bad weather. Thad says, good evening, Weather 360 family. I hope everyone is safe and warm. I'm warm right now. So thank you so much for that. I shared a weather picture with you. I did get a lot of pictures. I'm going to share a good amount of pictures tonight. So if you want to go in and send me a picture before I go in and do that, send it to scweather360 at gmail.com. Again, that is SC, like South Carolina weather, 360 at gmail.com, because I'm about to share that in just a couple of minutes. Today was chilly, but it was not too bad. Thank you for that. Current temperature is 33. Extreme cold warning is in effect. We'll talk about San Antonio. Trero says, marvelous Monday evening. Cold day here, but the sunshine was great. Trero says, Ms. Tolliver says, I've been cold all day, fuzzy socks and boots. Staying in the house all day. And then Miss Oliver said, my birds have enjoyed visiting the bird feeders inside of my yard. Cheryl said the sun melted all the snow from my car. I did go outside for about 10 minutes today to crank the car and make sure the wiper blades were okay. Well, at least you were able to go on and do so prematurely so you can go on and get all of that stuff taken care of. One of my sisters live in Spartanburg. They're also having a hard time with a lot of snow. Then I heard that USC was on delay with classes today. I don't know too much about that. I've not heard too much about that either. And then another sister who lives in Virginia said they were in a state of emergency. Well, I do know. I didn't know about that. Virginia was under one. North Carolina was in one. Obviously, we were. I think Georgia was in there. I think Alabama was two. Louisiana was in one. Tennessee was in one. I know New York was in one. I knew a lot of areas were. My dad says my brother in Louisiana has not had power since around 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. That's definitely a long time for right now. I mean, it's been around more than 24 hours-ish or so. So, yeah, definitely a long time. And then, feeling a bit better, but I'm glad I feel 100%. And then, oh no, people are going to go on and raid the grocery stores again. Well, if you just got to make sure that you get it early. I mean, if you have to go to the grocery store tomorrow, so you make sure that you get your stuff before they go in and do so. Hey, that might have to be the move. If you know that they're gonna go in and try and raid them again, I would just go in and get the stuff that I need now, so I wouldn't have to be all that mess. Anyways, one of my nephews in Spartanburg had to spend the night on his job for 24 hours because of the snow, and then continuing through, the Charleston Marathon is on Saturday. That's going to be horrible for the participants. Yeah, I do think that is going to be. They're definitely have to pay attention to that because I think that that's going to be just a horrible situation, especially if you have temperatures down in the 20s. Yeah, I don't think. I don't know if that's going to occur. Well, 20s, 30s ish. Even if it's freezing at all. So I don't know if they're going to cancel that or if they're going to just continue to just stick it out and just see what happens. So let's go and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations, what am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and talk about their areas for them. So we're going to start off with San Antonio first. Low temperatures tonight at 19. High temperatures tomorrow at around 47. And low temperatures tomorrow night at around 29. Precipitation, not expected. You're not going to see any. Temperatures for you, they will increase until you get into the weekend. They will decrease again, but then they'll increase again as you start going to the work week next week. So you are going to continue just to see more of an increase in your temperatures in the next couple of days, though. No, rainfall, no severe weather, no excessive rainfall. Might be a bit breezy Thursday night going into Friday, but other than that, that said, it's just going to continue to be extremely cold. Then for Raleigh, You have low temperatures tonight at 13, high temperatures tomorrow at 39, then low temperatures tomorrow night at 21. Precipitation not expected at this time. Wind chills are going to be as low as 5 degrees as you go into tonight and into tomorrow. So it's going to also be a bit breezy tonight, around 21 degrees or 21 miles per hour. And then as you continue your way through, Wednesday, it's going to feel like around 15 degrees with those wind chills, even though the high temperature is 40. It's going to feel like 15. And then you're going to continue to cool down as the week progresses. So even though, you have around 39 for your high on Tuesday, your high temperature on Friday, 34. Your high temperature on Saturday, 26. And you also have a chance of snow like South Carolina does. But no severe weather, excessive rainfall for you or for Philadelphia, with low temperatures tonight at 7, high temperatures tomorrow at 21, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 8. Precipitation not expected at this time, and wind chills will be down to the negatives as you go not only to tonight, but all the way through Wednesday. And then you will continue to kind of cool down as well, with low temperatures being down into the single digits. It's not trying to get close to negatives, like Thursday night, 1 degrees. 1 degree, I should say. Friday night, 2 degrees. And so you'll also see another chance of snow on Sunday night. And then Duncan, Oklahoma being the last one, low temperatures tonight at 7, high temperatures tomorrow at 33, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 11. Precipitation not expected at this time. Same thing with severe weather and excessive rainfall. Wind chill values tonight and tomorrow will be all the way down to around -2. And that's about all here for these areas. In terms of Duncan as well, it looks like that you will be, trying to warm up just a little bit for the most part. You will definitely try to warm up, but will it last long? It'll die right back down Friday going into Saturday, but then it will try to get back up Sunday going into Monday as well. So that's all for the areas outside of South Carolina. What about the entire U.S., though? If we go in and look at weather news throughout the entire U.S., well below normal temperatures will continue for the eastern half of the lower 48 this week. Another blast of cold air will spread from the plains through the east-southeast U.S. Friday into Saturday, with more record lows expected even into Florida. Forecasts are being monitored for an increasing potential of another significant winter storm to impact the eastern United States this coming weekend. So that's the main thing. Also, we will continue to see some freezing going on, not only, down all the way near Texas, but in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, New Jersey, just New York, all these areas, and probably even more that I'm missing out on right now. But these are just all areas that will receive some freezing temperatures tonight, as most of us will be. And so let's go on and look at the pictures now. So the first one was from Thad. He sent this on the 24th. So on Saturday, he sent kind of chilly. This was at 1:54 p.m. right here on Saturday. Here it is. Showed around all the way down, going into like the 27, 28-ish degree mark. So thank you so much for this picture. For your thermometer, hygrometer down there for humidity, around 60 to around 70%-ish, around 68-ish%. So, you're kind of around that area for, but kind of like some below average temperatures, but also not as dry. Then as we go into look into the next one, my mom sent me this one, but it was from my cousin out of Maryland. My cousin Skeeter out of Maryland sent me this one showing snowfall inside of Maryland. Let me see if I can go in and open this up, because I have to download it. That has sound to it. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. Oh, this is not good quality at all. I do apologize for that, but oh, there it goes. It's better now. But here's what he sent me out of Maryland. His dog out there playing around inside the snow. So, thank you so much for this forecast, or from this forecast for where you are, and for what you can see here in the pictures and the video. But the next one that I have over here comes from Thad again, who sent me Frozen Gutters picture. This was on the 25th here at around 1 o'clock. And it's around the same thing that I saw at my house as well going into Sunday morning. But it is some freezing gutters going on over here at his house. So again, thank you so much for this picture again. And then the final one coming in from Miss Tolliver, who says, snow in Ithaca. Well, we did not get any snow, but Micah said they got 14 inches this morning. Someone even made a snowcat as well. Oh, I just saw it. Thank you so much for this picture. Let me see if I can go in and, I can't. Oh, I have it locked, I think. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, thank you so much for this picture. And so, yeah, good. More than a foot. More than a complete foot of snow. Definitely, we wouldn't be expecting that anytime soon now. But who knows? Maybe it could happen next winter. And then that's about all that I can see here in terms of the picture. So if you want to go in and send me a picture, again, you can by sending it to scweather360@gmail.com. Again, that is scweather360@gmail.com. And that's all that I have. So again, one last thing before I go, hit the like button. If you're new, never hit it before, right now we have around a good, let's see, we have around a good 34 people that have tuned in so far, and we only have 10 likes. If you are a part of that 24, go on and do so. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're at 678, trying to get to 722 away from that main goal. And then also, share with your friends, your family members, acquaintances, people that you don't even like. It could be somebody that you even saw while you were at the bus stop and you were talking with somebody's parents. It doesn't matter. Just go in and send it to them so they can go on and get a weather forecast for free. For free. No money involved. And it's all free. Mr. Chris says, everyone, please remember to stay warm, safe, and hydrated. Check on the elderly and bring in pets and plants inside. My Aunt Lewis says, everyone, please be safe and stay warm. And then Mr. Oliver says, good night. Well, good night to you all. And then top fans of the night for tonight. Seems like for the most part, Mr. Chris still was at that number one spot. It was close with second place here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Chris at number 1, Maya Lula at number 2, and then Miss Tolliver at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time and being a subscriber, being here early, and being active. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday. I'll be back tomorrow morning with your Tuesday morning forecast update, and make sure you hit those 2 buttons before you leave.